Hey guys, welcome back to Shroud Man's Shop. I am the Shroud Man. Today I have something a little different for us, not turning, but routering. And what I have here is a commission to fabricate something we're calling the Carnivore Board. And it's not exactly a cutting board. Well, it is, I guess, but it's something a little bit different. A gentleman that asked me for this wants the upper edges to be curled up so that when he brings meat in from the barbecue, he can put it in there and the juice is not going to be all over the place. I mean, it's one thing to have a juice groove in the board, but this is taking it to the next step, where it's big, basically like a big square bowl with a short rim on it. So anyways, I told him I'd take a whack at it. No harm in doing that. So because of this, I didn't figure that I would be able to use the router effectively and precisely just by freehanding it. So I decided that I would manufacture one of these, and it seems to work very well. I used it once before on a regular cutting board with the juice groove, and I put this together a little while ago, but it seems to work very well. I'm sure you guys have seen this from other, woodworkers as well, this kind of thing. But it seems to be functional, and I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. But now it's time to put it to use for what it was originally intended, was this board, the Carnivore Board. And I mean, I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but anyways, first thing to do is flatten up the sides, the top and the bottom. And then what I'll do is I have all end stops for this thing. And here's one here. I don't know if you can see it or not. And I have one on either end of the, I guess what it would be is the X rail, and I can set that for maximum travel, and that's what I'll do to make sure I don't get too close to the edge when I start hollowing out. I bought a new router bit which will do a semicircular shape. It's 1 3/4 in diameter, so I'll get that radius of a cut inside this lip. So we'll give that a try, see how that goes. The last board I did, I found I had trouble with it wanting to move around a bit. So I came up with some clamps that I got from Amazon, which are meant for dog holes, 3/4 inch dog holes in this black table that I have. I've had these for a few years, and these are great tables, these things. They're portable, they're strong, they'll hold up to 300 pounds a piece, and they're full of the dog holes. They came with the dogs, and they even come with 2 clamps each. But those clamps will not work for me here. And too bad, really. But Any case, I have my plunger router set to, you can see it's just starting to drag there and up here. So I'm going to take that as my base cut. And once I clean the top of this thing off, then I'll go down, what does it say? One click on the down stop is a 64th of an inch. So I'll maybe go down, well, we'll try a 64th. If it's not enough, we'll go down to 32. And we'll see how it goes. Once this thing is flat, I got a spoil board bit on here. And once it goes down, we'll see how it goes. One other thing about this, I fitted these pieces of plywood on the bottom of these rails so that I could make this thing movable. And anyways, I had it set the last time that these were turned the other way around, but this board is bigger than the first one. So I flipped them around. Then I found out that the height of the router was too much, or too little, I guess, and I couldn't get the board in underneath the router. Now I built this thing so that I used all these segments, 1/4-inch segments of plexiglass, and I can take them out if I want to adjust that height. So I thought, this is going to be a heck of a lot easier if I put a little shim underneath these pieces of plywood. So I had some old scrap, I don't know, it's pine or cedar or something laying around here. And I cut a few chunks of that and just lifted the whole thing up, and it looks like that's going to be just about right. When it comes to actually doing the routering, I'll do the outside first so I get that nice round edge, and then I'll hollow the rest of it out. And that's the plan. I hope the heck it works. So anyways, let's give her a go. Good luck to me. Okay, time to go down a bit. Okay, that's a 64th. Yep, we're almost there. One more cut, I think will do it. that's nice. Oh, missed a little bit right there. We get that. Yep, that's ready for some 200 grit. Yep, that's the real deal right there. Still a bit here though. Yeah, there we go. Now, I'll take the board out and flip it over, and we'll do the other side. Yeah, we need a little bit of CA right there. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'll try to remember to stick a picture of the previous cutting board with just the juice grooves in it. And it came out really well too. Once I put some finish on it, it just brought the color, the grain right up. Beautiful. Anyway, I'll bring you back after I flip this over. Okay, the other side came out nice and smooth. There's one little spot to fix it. It looks like that might be a split, or I don't know what the heck it is. But we'll put a little bit of glue on that. We're all set up and ready to go on this side. And I'm not sure. This thing's a bit high in the center, so we'll just leave the router where it was. We'll take this initial cut off. But I added a couple of wedges on either end to make sure it can't move this way. But these other little brass jobs here that I got from Amazon, man, they work good as a horizontal clamp for this thing. So anyway, let's put a hearing protection on here and give her a go. Well, I'm back. I'm not sure if the last recording I did worked or not. So anyways, here we are. I have both sides of this spoil boarded now to bring them smooth. It worked great. And now I have the first plunge bit, which is a 1/2 inch, probably 3/4 inch bottom flattener. And I've already taken a plunge in here about 1/8 of an inch. You can probably see it's a little hairy doing. Anyway, what I did before was I went and I set the stops all up to keep my either side of this bit 1.25 inches away from the edge. And I'll take it to depth, and then I should be able to use this new 1.75" diameter core box bit, it's called. Anyway, I got this new, more or less specifically for this job. So once I get down to the depth, which I'm going in 3/4, 5/8, no, 3/4 of an inch in depth, and then we'll bring you back when I'm ready to try this thing. I'll show you a bit of how this goes. This thing is a little hairy to work with, because it wants to jump when the tool bit grabs a little bit. So, I mean, it's not going anywhere. It can't go past the stops. So, I mean, it's just a matter of going back and forth and back. So, anyways, I'll show you a little bit of that. But I'm not gonna. There's no point in you sitting there watching this for hours. So, it is going to take a while. First, I'll have to adjust the stop. I'm going to go in another 1/8. That's about an 1/8, I guess. Yeah, there we go. That plunge is a hairy thing, so well, that's another 1/8 of an inch, roughly. And it's amazing because as you go across, each one of these these woods has a different smell to it. It's quite a remarkable thing to smell it as you're working. So long as it isn't burning flesh, I'm happy. But now it's time for a drink of coffee and wash down some trail dust, partner. I've made 2 passes. You can see the depth of cut that I have here. It's about 3/16 right now. But I need to go deeper. And the problem was I could not set my plunge router to go any deeper. So I tried adjusting the height of clearance by removing some of these little spacers I had originally put in here. And, well, that didn't work. So I thought about shimming the piece up, which might have worked, but then I was in trouble with the height of my dogs. The dogs wouldn't have been able to get a good hold on this piece. You can see it's well anchored here now because of the little clamps I bought. And I put a wedge on either end to hold it from moving laterally. So what happened was I ended up buying a collet extension, which is I think 3 1/4 or 3.5 inches long, and that has yet to be tried. I have it in there. However, it turned out that the extension was too long. So I ended up adjusting these spacers again. And because these blocks, these linear bearing blocks, are drilled all the way through on the corners, but they are not tapped all the way through. So I ended up using shorter screws. I mean, it's just been a bit of a chore, actually, to get to this point where I'm ready to try routering again. I already have the plunge set. I can take another, I'm ready to take another 1/8 of an inch. I figure I'm probably going to take another 3/8 of an inch to get down to the depth I want. And I'm going to use a half round bit once I get down a little bit farther, and then just make a nice radius in this corner instead of a square like that. So we'll see how it goes. And you guys have already seen one full pass of the router going back and forth. There's no point in me continuing to show you that, but I will bring you back after I get down to depth and before I go into this corner radius. So there's one other thing. I don't know if you can see it in here. I'll try and show it to you later on if I can, if I remember. The rotor extension, it's in there. I do have a picture of it, but I got it from Amazon. It was like $17 or something. So I'll let you know if it works good, or if it tries to kill me, I won't be able to show you. So, anyways, maybe I should show you now. Okay, you can see right in there that that's the extension on there. And I don't know if I can get a better picture or not. Yeah, you can see it in there, but it's hard to get down. Oh, there. There you can see the router bit on the bottom of it. That's the one I had been using before. Okay, I'm done with the router sled. And I switched over. Actually, before I did that, I took a saw cut off either side just so I could even up this top part. I don't know what you call it. And that came out pretty good. So what I did was I took the saw cut off two sides, and I guess it was this end. Yeah, this end. To even this up all the way around. And then I give it a good sand in here. And I still got some grit on it from sanding, but that'll come out. And I'm pretty impressed with how it's coming. I mean, except for a little more sanding, I'm ready for finish. On the bottom, I'm saving this swarf. I used a 1/2-inch roundover bit with my hand trim router, and then on the ends I put a 1/2-inch chamfer on here, so it make it easier to get your fingers under when you want to pick it up. So other than that, I think I'm just about done. God knows it's taken long enough to get here. And it did try to kill me this afternoon when I was making the saw cuts. The end cut. A couple of these little chunks split in half, and one came winging up and hit me in the shoulder. It might just as well have hit me in the head and killed me, but luckily I avoided that. So anyways, I guess the next thing is a little more sanding right here for sure, and we might give it a little polish with the Scotch-Brite. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And other than that, we're ready for some finish. So the next time you see this thing, it should have some nice Howard Butcher Block conditioner on it. So, anyways, almost there. Be done tomorrow. This is the final chapter of this board. It's come up quite beautiful. This is Howard Butcher Block conditioner that's on it, and I mean, it's brought the colors and the grain up so much. Spectacular. I have everything rounded over, no sharp edges, and I put these chamfers on either end to make it easier to pick up, so you can slide your fingers under a little bit. So I'll just flip it over here for a second. And it's all been buffed already with my little 3-inch buffing wheel there. And there's, I mean, it's sanded up so smooth. I sanded it up to 220 with the palm sander. And it's, and then I also took my little 90-degree drill with a 2-inch pad on it, and I sanded into these round corners. I don't know what the heck you call them. Anyways, I think it's come up just amazing, and I'd love to hear some comments if anybody wants. I'd appreciate that, because I think it's one of my best pieces so far. So if you care to, please like and subscribe and share it, and leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll get back to you no matter what. So anyways, thanks again for watching Schroedman Shop, and we'll see you on the next one.